Hey to all those seeking vibrant health, it's Dr. Rachel Northern here. This is part of my monthly talks I am doing tonight, and this year I decided to do some talks around chapters of my book, Journey to Vibrant Health, which you can find on Amazon if you're interested. And chapter 8 is about rest, rest to renew you. And tonight we're going to talk about the 5 types of rest there is. So let's get started. So first off, physical rest. Most people think about rest, they think about physical rest. Make sure you go to bed. Our society is so sleep deprived. We are just, deficient by 2 hours a night on average, the average American. Our children are even worse, especially our teenagers are staying up all night on the social media and all those accounts with all that blue light in their eyes. So going to bed early, trying to make sure you're getting enough sleep. Now, everybody knows that we should get at least 8 hours of sleep. That is what the human body on average needs. And it's not just about, how many hours, but the quality of your sleep, making sure you're getting in that deep sleep, that REM sleep, not, waking up in the middle of the night, which some people that's a problem with them. Sometimes people come to me for nutritional help, and there's certain things with blood sugar that messes that up. So the way you live your life during the day does affect how you're going to sleep at night. So we want to make sure it's good quality sleep, making sure we try to sleep on our back. I do tell people to put a pillow under their knees or between their knees if they're on their side so they're not twisting in bed. We want to try to keep that proper alignment, spinal alignment for that 8 hours that you should be in bed sleeping. And making sure also you have a supportive mattress. That's another pet peeve. I have so many patients come in and they talk about, their back, and I've actually lost patients because of them just telling them to get a new mattress, and all of a sudden their back pain goes away because they found a good mattress. The average mattress only lasts 7 to 10 years, so you should be ditching that mattress if it's been that long, no matter what warranties or what the people at the mattress store tell you. That on average, it wears out between 7 to 10 years. So that's something to think about when you're buying a mattress. Also, when you're shopping for a mattress, I recommend people to at least lay on that bed if you're out and about at least 10 minutes. That 10 minutes is kind of good enough time to have you settle into the mattress and actually feel the comfort of the mattress. I don't have any typical mattress brands I recommend. I just say make sure it's comfortable for you, because everybody's body is a little bit different on how they prefer their mattress, but make sure you feel good. Also, make sure the lights are off. Make sure there's no, like I said, blue light. I have people that like the TV and the chatter and all that. Well, if that's what you need, then try to maybe get one of those noise cancellations type sounds, or the ocean sounds, those kind of things, if you need that for your brain to help you sleep. Not so much the TV, because you got flashing lights at you, and that's not going to give you very good rest or quality sleep. Let me see if we covered all our bases here. We did. Let's move on to the next thing. Mental rest. Oh, our brain needs a break too. We gotta take some breaks here. I just came off a vacation, so I'm feeling pretty refreshed myself. I love my job. I love helping people, but it's good for me to step away and just kind of get away and, not have to think about work, because then when I come back, I'm more renewed. I'm better for my patients that come in, and it's just really good to get that break for our mind. I recommend typically to try to take 1 week off, at least twice a year, take the full week off, just to make sure you get that whole time to reset. Myself, I carry really tightness in my shoulders, and it takes till the end of that week usually for my shoulders to finally be relaxed. And of course I come back to work and one day it's back to where it was, but at least it had a break for a little bit. So 1 week, sometimes it takes that long for the body to unwind, and also the mind to unwind. Usually the first days of vacation I'm still planning mode and doing things mode, and it takes me the third day to finally go, oh, I don't have to do anything. I shouldn't have to plan anything. I should just be. And so it takes some time for that. Also, trying to do some long weekends, trying to do some weekend getaways, or some time where you're just maybe checking out your local area. There's so many times people come to town and you don't even know that there's all these activities in your town or in your vicinity, until like you have a cousin come in and go, oh, I'm going to go see this. And we're like, I didn't even know that was there over in the next town. So, explore your area. You should probably have a lot of things you can explore in your vicinity that could be cool to check out and give you a little mental break in the process. Also, one day a week, I try to just disconnect and unplug. So I'm a faithful person. I go to church regularly. I do believe in the scriptures. And it says God rested on the seventh day after he made everything. So if God said he rested and he didn't have to, why do we think we can just go and keep going and not actually take time to actually break and relax and reflect and, just unwind and appreciate what we have? So there is research that shows that this mental rest actually increases your productivity. They have done some corporate studies about even taking rests during a workday, the 20-minute rest break. There used to be some corporations that even had a nap station, nap areas. They say just a 15, 20-minute little nap, and that they found that their people were more productive after they did those kind of exercises or breaks. And I think about it, there's other cultures that, they take the midday siesta, like in Europe and other countries and that's kind of their way of life. So kind of interesting. It does reduce stress, who we talked about, improves your mood. Obviously, it makes you a little bit more thinking about the things you appreciate, enjoying things that make you happy. That's going to help your mental mood, stimulate those good hormones. And also, it helps you develop good communication skills with your family, with other people. And that's just what the research shows. So, and also, other ways to take breaks throughout your day for a mental rest is pausing maybe before a meal, being thankful for that, making sure to prepare your body for the intake of nutrients, and it helps stimulate your digestive enzymes. Taking that break, taking time to just meditate for even 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If I have a little bit of time between patients, that's kind of do it. Just kind of to reset, take a little break, try to just pause my brain for a second and let it kind of come back online to make sure I'm there and fully present with my patient when I'm there instead of thinking of all these other things. A lot of times, I haven't put this slide on here, but I do what I call a mind sweep, where I just write down things that are just running around in my mind and just pour them out on paper so it's like out of my head, and that gives me a little break there too. That's also like the 10-minute timeout. Just sometimes you get caught up in your day and you feel like you're building and building and building if you're in a project, and just taking a 10-minute break is going to actually help you. So say timeout, go for a walk, reset, take some deep breaths, and that will just help you be more productive and maybe come back with a better perspective, not so tense, not pumping out that adrenaline so hard, and kind of just get you back where you can think, because adrenaline doesn't help you think, it helps you react. So you want to be thinking at work. I hope, most of you anyway. I talked about the pausing before a meal, and then, throughout the day, check your breathing. When you breathe, you should be able to be breathing with your diaphragm. Pay attention when you take a deep breath in. Are you breathing up here with your chest, or are you breathing down here with your diaphragm? Take a couple seconds just to pause, take that nice deep breath, and then out. I have lots of videos where I brought other people in and talked about meditation and way to breathe better. So look at my old videos, or some old videos that I've recorded on my YouTube channel, and that's Dr. Rachel DC, and I think it's a bunch of other letters, but that's my YouTube channel. So that's the mental break. Let's see. Oh, creative rest. I'm particularly more of an analytical person, so this is really important for me to actually be proactive with, and I do generally do that. Like I was just saying, I just came back from vacation myself, and I brought my coloring book. I brought my my crayons and my pencils, and usually I bring those things because I take the time to just pay attention to what I'm doing and being creative, and picking different colors for flowers, and it taps into a part of my brain that I don't generally use, and it just actually help me relax better, and it just stimulates that part of the brain. Now, if you're one of those artist types, maybe you should be doing Sudoku or something like that activates more of that mathematical part of the brain to kind of give you a little more balance in your brain. But, figure out, if you can color, you can draw, you can paint. My son himself was with us, and he had a little notebook, and he was drawing. He was like trying to draw, like, he was sitting across the table from us, and he was trying to draw us. And it was really cool because he's pretty much an analytical. He does computer engineering, and so he's using numbers and math and calculus and all these crazy things. And it was really cool that he already naturally just kind of knows when he's on break or when he wants a mental break, he just draws. And that's really cool to see that. Painting also, I like also occasionally pulling out watercolors, or, doing a project of, like, maybe just find a project at Hobby Lobby where you put something together, or a puzzle. Those are really cool things to, like, kind of just shut that mind off and look at colors and look at things. And then I just said pick a medium or an outlet. So medium is like, maybe you like clay, maybe you want to try doing woodworking, anything like that. Just trying to pick up a new hobby. I've had a lot of seniors, really a lot of my seniors that are healthy, they're taking new classes at the community club. They're joining a gardening club, or they're doing painting classes. It's pretty cool to see how they're just keeping their minds really active. And, taking that creative break is really also just really good for you. So, it's okay to daydream. That's the other thing. Take time maybe to just daydream. Look at the clouds like you did when you were a kid. Like, kids just do this naturally. They just find objects, or the bush looks like a dog, or the cloud looks like a dog or a dinosaur. Look at things. Look at the sunset and appreciate it. Look at the sunrise. Just pause through your day and then just take that time to just be that gratitude and look and just observe the beauty of our creation. Another thing too is you could plant flowers, or just go out and pick wildflowers and put those in your home too, to kind of look at the creativity and bring some color into your household. The other break that some people don't talk about, or rest, is a sensory rest. We are so bombarded by so many things in our society with all the stimulation from all the electronics, from TV, social media, news, radio, all this stuff. So, there's times we need to just be still and, like, get rid of all that stuff. Go somewhere, either in nature, or maybe just a dark room or a quiet room, and kind of just pay attention, reconnect with, like, what do you smell, tactile things. Maybe bring some different types of beads or different things that just touch them. Like, pay attention to what you're touching. We neglect so much of our senses sometimes. So just kind of reconnect with our senses. Like, for me, I'm always thinking about what I touch. So I have a more sensitive touch than the average person. So when you think about certain things, that's going to enhance them. Just like a blind person, they're the same. They're always thinking about what they touch, so that's going to be more enhanced. So you want to pay attention to all your senses. When you're stopping also and eating food, pay attention to the flavor of it. Are you scarfing it down just to get the fuel? Or, we eat so fast in our society. So just like taking our time, relishing the flavors. And I'll admit I'm bad about that time, because food for me most of the time is just about getting fuel. So usually the only time I stop and nurture it is when I get a really good chocolate. Then I take my time, like, oh yeah, that's good. And I'll slow it down a little bit. But I don't think about that in other things that I eat most of the time. So I have a problem with the eating stuff too. So, taste, touch, think about what you're what are you hearing? I feel like we have an epidemic of so many people losing their hearing earlier and earlier. And, we got to pay attention of, like, the earphones, of how high we're placing these sounds in our ears, because that's going to affect us later on in life. So again, if we are paying attention to what we're hearing, keeping it, concentrating on that, the better we're gonna be to enhance that, and hopefully maybe not lose it so much earlier in life. So, and then we talked about doing, like, unplugging from technology, actually making a day where you unplug from technology, or a certain couple hours or something of the day where you just say unplug. Or I've had people go on, like, social media fasts where they just decide they're not going to do it and unsubscribe or whatever you need to do, and they just don't do it for a month or however time along they do it. Or for me, when my kids were growing up, we had a no screen day. It usually was Tuesday, my day off. And that whole day, the kids couldn't go on, they couldn't watch TV, they had to either read a book, or they had to play board games, or they had to play outside. They couldn't do anything with the digital world. And I'll be honest, there were some nights after they went to bed and I was tempted to go turn on that TV myself. And I'm like, nope, I got to be congruent. And I would do it. And I did benefit my kids because my kids have really good social skills with adults and other people. And I've gotten lots of compliments as they were teenagers and growing up that they were able to socialize better than the average person. So that's really... I think that's attributed because we did have those days of unplugging. And emotional rest. That's another one people don't think about. So cut the drama. I have cut the drama. So pay attention to the people around you. Like, do you have a lot of people that are drama mamas? Are you the drama mama? Think about that. So emotions shouldn't be heightened all the time. It shouldn't be this everything. There shouldn't be a fire all the time. There shouldn't be all this drama all the time. And some people I know, I have patients come in, they come in and it's like a ball of craziness. And literally I've had patients that, or even the front desk notice, like they come in and like stuff falls off the shelf and it's all crazy. And then as soon as they leave, it was like a storm went through and everything's calm again. It's kind of crazy. So pay attention. Like, where are you at emotionally? Are you heightened on your emotions? And do you have healthy outlets for your emotions? Yes, we have emotions. We're going to have emotions, but do you have healthy outlets? How are you doing that? Like me, myself, like when I'm stressed or when I have things, I work out. I go on the treadmill. I go for a walk. I have other things, or I have a friend that I can vent to. That's going on to the next thing. Check yourself. Notice first off what your trigger is. Like if you notice there's certain thing that just sets you off, pay attention to what that is and see if you can avoid it or how to moderate it. And another one is seek professional advice if you can't do it yourself. Like there is people that are out there that can help you navigate through this and help you calm down and figure out how to properly just express those emotions, or if you even have to express them at all. So find healthy boundaries too, like with yourself, with the community that's around you, the people you surround you with. And I've talked about this in other talks. There is toxic relationships, and maybe there's a thing where you have to decide if this person's just not healthy in your life. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's family members, and sometimes you can't disconnect from that. But what you can do is put boundaries, like you're only going to allow so much time around them, or you'll tell them that you certain boundaries. I have somebody that's in my life, and they came in the office one time and they were yelling and carrying on, and I said, this is healing zone. This is not allowed here in this area. And that boundary got put up, and they realized anytime they come in and they start, and I'm like, and they knew I got them where they finally conditioned, where they realized, nope, that's not allowed here, and that boundary. So if they don't respect that boundary, then they did at that point in time. I was like, otherwise I would have been, you have to have the guts to say, nope, then you can't be around me at all if you can't handle yourself. So you have to have those boundaries for yourself as well. And then, at the same time, the flip side, surround yourself with the healthy people who are doing this, expressing themselves healthy, that aren't toxic, that just seem like they know what's going on and able to manage themselves and are doing things that are good for themselves and good for others. Ultimately, I believe we should be serving and loving others. And if you're doing that, there shouldn't be this negative energy that comes out. So, and then the final thing I have on this, just a little side note on the back end of this, is I talk about it a little bit in the book. It's just about diet, like how that affects our rest. And there's certain things that do affect us. Obviously, sugar and caffeine are ones that are not going to let us sleep or gets us more agitated. So trying to avoid sugar as much as possible. Avoid caffeine, or if you're going to do caffeine or alcohol, in moderation. They say 1 cup of coffee is fine. When you go beyond that, it's going to be overstimulant, and that's going to affect you. If you do, same with alcohol, you're supposed to, like 1 drink is okay. 1 drink is good for the liver to stimulate detoxification. After that drink, then it starts to be taxing on the liver. Also, that 1 drink is also nice and relaxing. I have a lot of patients that are lived to be in their 90s, and where they have the nightcap. They talk about the nightcap before bed or whatever, a little bit, 8 o'clock or after dinner, and they live to be long. So I know alcohol itself is not bad. It's just over long term, it does cause problems with the brain. It makes, a lot of problems with the liver and all other cells in our body. So when you go over that, it's going to be not healthy, and it's not going to help you sleep, or rest. So, and the nutrients to think about. So, calcium is important for relaxation of the muscles, magnesium the same, potassium. Also, B6 is really important for the brain to kind of come down. I always tell people, if you're going to do B vitamins, make sure you're doing them in the morning because they are energy. But if you support your energy through the day, then you can sleep better at night. Zinc is also, there's some talk about, they're seeing zinc is also helpful for sleep. So I've actually had some patients that take it at night. They think it might help them sleep. Omega-3s is just good for the brain and just helping that overall inflammation, just feeling better, helps relaxation. Vitamin D is also, some studies talked about vitamin D also helping with relaxation. That might be linked too, because you need vitamin D to absorb calcium. So that might be the link there. And then a lot of patients talk about taking melatonin. Melatonin is the natural brain to help us sleep. And unfortunately, I tell people use that with caution. Like if it's like one time or once in a great while, I'm okay with saying do the melatonin. But the problem with melatonin is if you take it, your brain's supposed to naturally produce it. If you take it, it thinks that it already produced it, and then it starts to kind of causes a negative feedback loop, and so then it decreases the production. So then you got to start to become dependent on it if you take it all the time. So I don't recommend that. There is herbs though that help stimulate melatonin out there. So we can talk about that if I talk with that with patients, depending on what sets them for that. And then another thing, that there's herbs like valerian and kava that just help stimulate relaxation, muscle relaxation, brain relaxation, and just kind of helps you with that aspect of your body. So I think that's all my tips for tonight. You can always, contact me through the website, thedoctorandyou.com. And like I said, my book, Journey to Vibrant Health, is on Amazon. And if you have, if you're local and you want to make an appointment to start your journey to vibrant health, the phone number is 815-344-0113. Thank you.